Hey y'all, it's Crystal with MrsHappyHomemaker.com, and I am making quick marinated hamburger steaks for dinner tonight. Now, I picked up some hamburger steaks already pre-formed at the grocery store earlier today. These were in the reduced case, and I will only buy these kind of burgers when I find them on sale for a really great price, like cheaper than ground chuck, or if they're in the reduced section for cheaper than ground chuck, which these were. So when I make burgers usually, or hamburger steaks usually, I will take just ground chuck and put my own seasonings like salt, pepper, garlic, Lea and Perrins, Worcestershire sauce inside of it, mix it up, and make my own burgers. Well, when I find them like this for a great deal, I go ahead and pick them up anyway because I make a marinade that I pour on top of them. It's only a couple of ingredients, or like 3, 4, it's a few ingredients. Not too many ingredients. Pour it on top of it. I let it marinate for 15 minutes on each side, and then I sear it up in my pan, and it's good to go. I like to serve mine with onions and mushrooms, and you can also put it on top of a hamburger bun and have a really delicious burger. It comes out juicy and flavorful every single time. So let me show you how easy this one is to put together. All right, so let's get started and make this marinade. I'm gonna set my hamburger patties over here. And I got my measuring cup here. Now first, I'm gonna take Allegro marinade. Yes, I'm making a marinade with a marinade, but I'm adding a few other ingredients to it to spice it up. If you have not seen this in your store, look for it. It's sold with the marinades. It's really good, my favorite marinade by far. So I'm gonna take a half a cup of this and pour it into my measuring cup here. I need to turn it around so I can see a half a cup. There we go. Now to this, I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of Lea and Perrins. And so that's just gonna bring it up to 3/4 of a cup. So we're making 1 cup of marinade total here. There we go. And now I'm gonna take a 1/4 cup of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Now to this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. And I'm just gonna eyeball it here. And I'm gonna sprinkle this with some pepper. And my fork. And I'm just gonna whisk it up here. Now my hamburger patties. I'm simply just gonna pour this marinade that I made right on top of my hamburger patties here. All right, so I've got the marinade inside of here on top of my hamburger patties. I'm gonna pop it in my refrigerator and let it marinate for 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna flip my hamburger patties and marinate it for another 15 minutes in the fridge, and then I'm gonna cook them. All right, so my hamburger patties have finished marinating. I'm gonna set them aside while I throw a little bit of fat in my pan so I can sear these up. So I've got my skillet here on medium heat. I'm gonna add a couple of pats of butter. Last patty right there. I'm gonna go put this in my sink and wash my hands, and I'll be right back. And I've got this cooking on medium-high heat. I'm gonna let this cook for about 6-7 minutes on each side. And if you have a little bit too much marinade coming out from it, don't be ashamed to pour some off into a heat-proof bowl and set it aside so you can get that brownness that you want on your hamburger patties. All right, so my hamburger patties are done. I'm gonna take them out of the skillet and put them here on my paper towel lined plates and let them drain. And I am going to take my onions that I have already sliced up and add them to here. This is 1 large onion slice. And I'm gonna season these onions with some salt. And then I'm gonna add some mushrooms. I don't salt my mushrooms because salt dries out mushrooms pretty bad. And I'm adding about a cup's worth of these diced mushrooms to my pan. And now I'm gonna season the whole thing with some pepper. And some garlic powder. So I'm gonna cook this on medium heat until the onions and mushrooms are nicely caramelized. All right, so to this I'm gonna add 1/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna sprinkle it on top. That's gonna be my thickening agent for my gravy. And I'm gonna let this cook for about 1 minute, that way it will activate the flour. All right, now to this, I'm gonna add 2 cups of beef broth. I'm gonna add it 1 cup at a time. giving it a stir in between. All right, now I'm gonna add the other cup of my beef broth. Turn my heat down to low. So I'm gonna take me a clean spoon and I'm gonna taste this gravy and see if it needs anything. Because honestly, that's the only way to tell if you need salt, pepper, garlic powder, or anything else to, you know, make your flavors right. Oh, that's so good. It does need a little bit of salt and pepper though, as anything does. And again, because I like it and I add it to everything, a little bit of garlic powder. Got me another clean spoon. I'm gonna give this another taste and see what I think. Perfect. Okay, so you can serve it like this with the hamburger steaks and the gravy on top, or you can put the hamburger steaks back inside the gravy and let it cook for a few more minutes, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat all the little bitty pieces off the paper towel, because that's the best part. I call them little crunchies. I'm gonna spoon this gravy on top of these hamburger steaks. I'm gonna turn my heat up to medium. All right, so I'm turning my heat down to medium-low, and I'm gonna cover this with the lid and let this cook for about 7 to 10 minutes. All right, you guys, here's my meal. Hamburger steak with onion and mushroom gravy, roasted rainbow potatoes, purple, red, and white, and some green beans. And I'm about to slice into this hamburger steak. Let me get my video done.
This looks so good.
It is so good.
The only thing that matters to me is the gravy.
Same. You want a bite?
Sure. I'm stepping in to eat some.
You step and eat some, Ethan? I'll put extra gravy on it.
Please do.
I know, right? All right. Ooh, got the onion. Yeah. Good? Really good, huh?
Good.
I know, right? It is good. You guys, yum. That's so delicious. I do happy dances when I'm really happy when I eat my food, and that makes me really happy. Plus,
Yeah, and when I eat good food, I literally run and just jump on the couch.